Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Operation Status Quo here on a beautiful, wonderful, happy, vibrant, let's use the word vibrant today, Tuesday. I guess I should say terrific Tuesday, right, or something like that. Like when the chat groups in my day job, when they come online, they're always a terrific Tuesday, a wonderful Wednesday, a thriving Thursday. They want to encourage the team, and they come on and say stuff like that, which is always quite humorous to me because especially in those type of office general day job environments, it's pretty much a bunch of fake personas, wanting to encourage everyone and make it like everybody's happy doing jobs that they know make them miserable, which is pretty funny. But anyway, for the purposes of this show, it is a terrific Tuesday because it's a beautiful space to be here on Operation Status Quo. Hello and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to be with me here today. My name is Pete Palma, and this is Operation Status Quo, where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So how you guys doing out there today, by the way? Let me start off that way today and just put it out there to you, the beautiful people, the audience. How you feeling? Please drop something in the comment section below. Let me know how you're resonating out there and how you're mitigating these crazy and uncertain times as we continue to spin through the cyclone of mania in our day-to-day world, waiting to see if at any point this crazy storm will pass and we will be able to rebirth our beautiful world. Well, actually, we are rebirthing, and that's why things are going in the direction that they're going in. I always talk about this basically that, the old paradigms that we've been used to for so many generations no longer meet the needs of the rising level of human consciousness, and therefore we are just in a space where we're in this transition of what was is no more, and what will be, we're not really sure, right? So we're just kind of going with the flow, and that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. That's why I say that we observe, and then we flow with the quo. But then you create your own flow of quo, right? Because you just see what's going on out there in the world, and you make the decisions that work best for you to mitigate the circumstances of what's going on in this crazy world out there. But anyway, that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo, and I appreciate your time. 122.5% for sure, and really happy that you're here with me. And if you haven't done so already, take the time to like, subscribe, share. Always looking to increase the viewership of this channel and build it out. And I was going to say this because I don't really talk about it much, but I know everybody on YouTube, they try to be, have a big channel and, whatever. You want to have sponsors, I guess, or monetize in some regard and all that type of stuff. And although I think that's great, and of course, if that ever happened, that'd be wonderful. But in a sense, that's not my objective. My objective more so is to build the audience, and to have a place where people feel comfortable to share their ideas and build a community, quite honestly, is really what this is about. Like, to me, I feel doing this the way I'm doing it now, trying to come on most days of the week and just give some sort of, perspectives and positive messages or whatever. I guess it's not all, well, I feel it's positive, even when I talk about stuff in certain ways, it's still, positive because we chuckle about things and, we don't take it too seriously. We learn here on Operation Status Quo not to attach to things too much and get out of control and all that. But to me, the real success of this channel would be if we were able to increase the viewership and to, gather more people together to find a space where there can be, comfort and joy, safety. I don't even want to use the word safety, right? That sounds, I don't know. For whatever reason, I don't like that word, but because it's not about safety. It's just about togetherness and resonating with like-minded people. And, really I look at for, as far as like the monetary side of things, for me personally, I would like to see this channel develop into something that provides me with opportunities like in a different way to me maybe be with people or work with people to, make a living if that ever comes to fruition in some way whatsoever. What the point I'm making is, it's not about trying to just come on here and do any kind of shock value or, impress anybody to the point of trying to be like a big YouTube star or whatever. Realistically, I'm just a guy who enjoys connecting with people, and I enjoy connecting with you. And, if what I do here resonates with you, then that's awesome. And I'm really glad. I get messages from time to time of somebody who catches a video here or there and says, oh, I really like this, or it was a great, thank you for this message or something like that. That's really kind of what it's all about. So, feel free to let me know your thoughts out there and, drop your comments. And then don't forget, like I always say, you're welcome to participate as well. So if you're interested to be a guest on the program or to even put forth some ideas of topics you'd like to see discussed here, I'd be more than happy to do that. My contact information is in the description box below because I do love all of you out there, and I do want to reach people in a positive way and put a smile on your face and just let you know I'm your buddy. I'm just your little YouTube buddy. Hi, how you doing out there? I'm your little YouTube buddy. Hey-o. So anyway, today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 1st of August. We made it to August. How about that? The 1st of August in the good year 2023. And today's program is entitled Aliens, Robots, and AI, Oh My, right? Okay, because our world is just moving at a blistering pace of technology and changes. And I just found these topics really when I first was going to do this episode, my first thought was really to talk more about the robots because I really like the idea of the robots. I'm going to get to that. But I wanted to start with the aliens, really, because I find it really amazing lately of how much information has been coming out about, the existence of aliens, and we've recovered bodies, we've recovered technology that we're using in today's world was, reverse engineered from alien technology that's been discovered. And, aside from like the Navy, right? The Navy released videos of, the unidentified, what do they call it? Unidentified fly. They don't call them UFOs. They call them UPAs, or I don't know, some kind of other terminology, because I guess they can't say UFO for whatever reason, because whatever connotation it gives. But anyway, long story short there, the Navy, this is even going back now. I'm going to say go back, when did the Navy first come out and start talking about the aliens? It was like, it might be a year. I don't know, some kind of time frame, drips and drabs was coming out that they basically were emitting things. And now you got these guys that are testifying with Congress or whatever, talking about the programs that they worked on and, seeing aliens and all the projects that were going on with the technology that was discovered and such. And really, it's amazing because if you want to go back, before COVID, right? Especially like when I was growing up during, like I said, the 80s and the 90s, like in those kind of times, it was always like, oh, do aliens exist? It was always this question, do aliens exist? Now, me personally, I believe aliens have always existed because it's all part of the oneness and the timelessness. There is no time and all that type of stuff. I've spoken on that before, as far as even saying the aliens are really just future versions of us, so whatever rabbit hole you want to go down on it, but the truth is this has been part of our existence since day one, that there's other forces at play just than what we consider humans. Whatever it is, but whatever, it's not just us on this little planet here, and there's nothing else in the universe going on. But all this information is coming out, and, people are like, they don't give a crap, right? They don't give a crap, or I don't even understand it, quite honestly. Like, if they came on TV and back then, like I'm saying, like the 80s, 90s type time, and had somebody come out and, really show proof about aliens and stuff, I think it would be like a really big story and a big deal. Like the population might react poorly or be, might cause chaos. I don't even know, but aside from that, I think two reasons. One, so much has gone on, over these past years, especially since COVID. How much can people keep up with in a way? It's like, it's first it was COVID, then we had the riots, and, we had the bank thing back in March, and the banking crisis is still going on, even though they don't talk about it, the devaluation of the dollar, it's all still going on. Nobody talks about it. Obviously, the situation in Ukraine and Russia, all that's going on. It's just on and on and on. Potentially new viruses that are coming. They talk about that could be more deadly than COVID, and they just go on. It's all this stuff, and I think like a part of it is that people are just so overwhelmed with everything and have been unable to get their life, quote unquote, back to normal or whatever we considered normal back then. It just hasn't come to fruition because everything's, again, well, it's never going to go back to normal, right? So you have like that kind of part. It's never going to go back to normal because everything has changed and consciousness has changed and people have realized too many things to ever go back to the way things were before. Yet, from our perspective as a society and humanity, we're so used to doing things in a certain way that we're, I guess, in some aspects trying to, cling on to that and remain in that, way of being. I think, people are so distracted and off-centered, not knowing how life is going to play out over these coming years, that it, keeps everybody kind of off balance and not in a place of, I think if people were more grounded, if society was more grounded right now, something like the alien story coming out, would be a big deal. So, but on top of like people just maybe not giving a crap because like there's just so much going on and they don't know what to believe next or what, how many stories can you dive into? I also, of course, the way mainstream media portrays things, it's always about the programming of society, right? To keep people in a space of not knowing truth and not being their best selves. So, they always kind of poo-poo it, right? Every time they talk about these stories, like on the news, like I've said it before, when I watch sometimes, they'll kind of like chuckle at it. Oh, do you believe in little green men or boo, boo, boo? And, they always just say stupid stuff, right? And it's just almost like, I guess what gets me aggravated almost, I would say in that regard, is just the level of conceit, in a sense, to think that you're so that and I don't know if they really believe this or as much as it's the story that they're being told to tell, right? The narrative that they have to put out to the masses, but. Just to come from a level of like laughing at it, like, people believe in aliens, I mean, it's really just, it's like insulting, right? It's like, I mean, how dare anybody, any of us as one human or just what we are, we should know better, that there's more than just us, right? Just on an instinctual level, just on an awareness level that we're not even us, right? I'm just saying, like, everybody thinks they're, I know you think you're Joe or Mary or Fred or Suzanne or whatever your name, you think you're those, but you're not. You are the, observation of your entity's existence as your true self, right? Like I always say, I'm not Pete, I'm the observation of Pete's existence, So, and again, that's why I say what I say here on my show about observing the status quo, flowing with the quo, and creating your own flow of quo, because, it's all intertwined, because we're not just as mechanical, for lack of a better word, of just being this body that's born and you live this little life and you die. It's so much more vast than that. But, again, the powers that be don't want you to know all that type of stuff. And, imagine if they came on and said, we've really proven it now that, we see that there's aliens and we're going to, divulge some of the technologies we found, and this is how we're moving forward those technologies, and here's some of the aliens that we met, whoever's in Congress or something that's actually an alien, or whatever actors are actually aliens, so but it'll never go that way. But it is really fascinating to me as far as the aliens go, that so much is coming out and there's like so little engagement with it as far as the population goes. I mean, I see stories like a lot of days during the week of and I don't know how accurate MSN is, and it's one of the, I just kind of flip through that online sometimes to see what BS they're spewing, but they're always showing pictures of, it was just what I just saw today. Was it today, the one I saw, that there's, these orbs floating in Mexico or something, and I don't know. I mean, they got pictures. I mean, I get it, because I would say the same type of thing. Oh, maybe it's not true, and it's all like, a psyop with technology that we're using to make it look like there's stuff in the sky, or it's actually humans flying ships that the general population has never seen. It's been secret projects. I'm sure it's all part of it. I do think that part of that goes on, but I also think there's the alien. So I guess we have to differentiate. But long story short with that, I just find it amazing that although the aliens are, it's more and more obvious of what's going on. I mean, everybody knew about Roswell, all these years, Area 51. I mean, come on, right? So it's pretty much a given. And now they're kind of coming out and saying it, and no one seems to care. It's like no big deal. I think it's a great thing. I can't wait for real, whatever you want to say, the information to really come out and like it really be accepted. And, I guess it won't happen until the day the alien ship lands and whoever walks out and goes, Nanu, Nanu. Remember Nanu, Nanu, Mork from Mork? Until somebody comes out and goes, Nanu, Nanu, I guess no one's going to believe it. But that's the way it goes with our current state of affairs. So, but that's with the aliens. So, moving on to the robots, which is another topic, and they all kind of go together in a way, and the AI as well, but the robots, first and foremost, I like the idea of the robots. I know a lot of people are nervous about robots and, taking away jobs, or especially the artificial intelligence taking away jobs, but, whatever these robots may or may not do, I'm just all about the robots, personally, because I feel, just like the movie I, Robot, they had the robot in the house, and the robot was able to, cook and clean and, do chores around the house, maybe to get the car, go run some errands for you, feed your pet, watch your kids when they come home from school if you're out. I don't know. I don't understand why people are against the robots. I know if you're worried about even jobs like building roads and stuff. Imagine you just hire, build a team of robots that are just working 24/7 building roads and infrastructure and such. I know some people may feel against that because it's taking jobs away. But again, I feel our society is transitioning to a space where the humans, are going to be doing more things on a spiritual level as opposed to such a hardcore physical level. Not to say that, we shouldn't, actually do tasks like, building houses or whatever. I know there'll be humans overseeing the robots to make sure things get done correctly, but I'm not against the robots. I don't know how you feel about the robots. I'd love for you to give me some of your information on the robots, but don't you think it'll be a great day in our world where, not for nothing, you can, even the trash trucks, they can be, built as robots. They don't even have to have a driver. The truck itself is like a robot that drives along and picks up the trash cans. I mean, who wants to be a trash truck driver? So I don't know. I think it's liberating, really. It's like you can have the robot to do all this stuff for you, and you be able to have time to do more things with your family, your friends, spiritually, the meditation, exercise, all kinds of stuff like that. Matter of fact, I guess you can have your robot as a personal trainer too, right? You can even, I'm sure if the robot is heavy enough, you can bench press your robot and use it as apparatus for exercise as well. So I think the potential for the robots is limitless, and I really like the idea of the robot. So let me know what you think about the robots, because that's a good one for me. I mean, especially like, the job I have now. Like I always joke and say how horrible it is, but imagine if I can have a robot sit at that computer all day and knock out that nonsense paperwork for me. They'd be able to do it like that. They wouldn't be upset. They wouldn't care. They would just do the darn thing and get it done. And I'd be able to, go hang out at the pool and not worry about, whether I was online enough time of the day doing stuff that doesn't mean anything. So anyway, that's it for with the robots. But and AI, AI is basically the same type of thing. I know. People worry about their jobs too with the AI, and also with the AI, you're worried a little bit of maybe being manipulated, because you're not sure if it's AI or a real person that you're talking to sometimes. And a good example of this is, my endeavors with the real estate and working with that. There's a program that my office works with that is like basically an AI program. Like if you were to go online on Google and do a search, for a home or something like that. I don't want to say it hijacks. I'm not really sure how it works, but I mean, how they do. However, these companies work to get their thing to be clicked, at the top. And, once it's clicked, it puts it through this system. And if they register, sign up with a name and a phone number and, all that kind of stuff. If they log on and create an account, then it starts the AI, right? The AI starts to interact, and the AI says, "Oh, hello, I'm Alex. I saw you were looking at homes in such and such area. Are you planning to move soon, or are you just browsing?" And then, people will wind up having conversation with the AI. That information could come come to me, and then I would intercede, and talk to somebody. Now, I've been working with this a little bit, and I'm on the fence. I mean, I think it's good. It's definitely good in a way, if you're in the business stuff that way. I mean, I enjoy dabbling in the things that I dabble, but I always say this: I'm not one of those staunch kind of business people. Got to do business, and I'm not really a believer in chasing people down and trying to force anything on anyone. Basically, I'm here, even like what I said in the beginning about this channel and monetizing or whatever. Same thing with the real estate. I'm not a type of person that's gonna just start calling 30 people a day and, trying to use whatever psychological language that they teach you to get them to sign a contract or do this or do that. I don't know. I like to let people make their own decisions. And I would like to think that someone gets to know me and resonates or vibrates well enough with me and trusts me and knows my integrity as a person that they want to work with me instead of me having to, try to trick or convince. And I would never trick. I mean, so I don't even want to, convince. Sometimes I'm apologetic, I'm sorry that I'm a real estate agent. It's like I feel like I want to apologize for it. And it's not that the field itself is bad. It's more of just I just don't believe in our structure and our system, and in a way, I do feel like. I hate to say this because it sounds, contradictory to the fact that I even do it. But I mean, I'm not a believer that why does somebody have to pay all this money commission to third parties, for a transaction of their own, property, because of all the regulations and the rules and all the stuff that they do that makes it so complicated, for the average person. So, and then you got all these people who are just looking to make their life off of, basically what you have, so I don't know. I mean, it is controversial, to me, but I also feel it could be a good thing. There are people legitimately who, are looking for a home or doing that type of thing. And so if I can, help facilitate or whatever, I'm definitely open to do that. But the AI part of it, and realizing that, every time you're searching for something or, and this goes beyond, the real estate, obviously, but, when you're online, if you're searching for something, you put your information in and you start getting emails or you start getting text messages or whatever. And, you start realizing how much of this is real and how much of this is, AI, and I don't know, all the things I'm talking about here as far as, the aliens, the robots, the AI, like I put in the description box below of all these mass changes are happening, and it seems like people are just, la-ta-da-ta-da going about their day. And I don't know, I just feel like, are people engaged with this stuff? I know it's a lot of fast, big changes, that we're not used to, and our societal structure is just a whole nother level, and the technology and everything, it's just turning it into a whole nother level. I totally get it. But at the same time, we have to be engaged, right? We have to be engaged and look into what's going on, what we're seeing out there, and, decide for ourselves what is truth, what is not, or what you want to be involved in, what you don't. It's like, you don't have to have a robot if you don't like robots, I guess, right? But, but with the AI, I think is the most important thing in a way. It's almost like, I think it's important for people to be aware that, this technology is out there. And of course, it's always going to be used in manipulation for sales and stuff, because everybody's always about money. It's all our world seems to care about, so. But we'll see how that plays out as our structures change and, the banking system continues to collapse. And, we'll see what happens, down the line when we have to, start over with a new form of transactions. It's not going to be the same as what we've been used to. So I definitely think AI has a place. I mean, it's great that AI can offer information or can, decipher ideas, or how it is beneficial in a good way, the best it can be to the population. I'm not really sure. I just think the most important part of it is that people should be made aware. That's the one thing I think the most about the system that I work with, and I realize, someone gets a text message, and they don't, it just says, "Hi, I'm Alex," and, but Alex is AI, right? And these people are having a conversation, and then I intercede, to say, "Oh, I got your information from my office assistant," and, blah, 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 I'm taking over from here, that type of thing. I don't know. I think that's confusing. I would prefer honestly, with all this stuff, just should be upfront and honest. If you sign up for something online and a text message comes in, it should identify itself. Hello, I am Alex. I'm an artificial intelligence automated system to help you help refine your search. I will be happy to put you in touch with a live agent or something like that, right? I mean, at least give people the opportunity to know what they're engaging with, before, they start saying all their stuff. Because I've seen some of the text message conversations that went on, and people start talking about their personal life, or they start getting agitated, with the AI for the questions that it's asking or something like that, and they don't know that they're talking to just some computer system. And I just don't think, from an integrity standpoint, I don't think that's right. I think that should be identified right up front, and then let people make their choice from there if they want to continue to engage and proceed in that regard or not. So I don't know. But basically, the point of today, ladies and gentlemen, with aliens, robots, and AI, oh my, is basically just to, say, things are changing rapidly in our world. That's a given, and some of these ideas that have always been quote unquote science fiction, or whatever the case may be, they're really coming into play in our everyday lives now. How they'll actually, come to fruition, as far as, we're going to be walking around, like, it's going to be like Star Trek or something, when you're just hanging out and it's like this, the aliens and humans and all this hanging out together. Maybe, who the frig knows? Probably, why not? I guess it would be, years down the line, maybe not tomorrow, but so, a lot of things are happening. These robots, robots are coming. I just love these robots, man. I just want a robot. I want a robot. I really do. I want a darn robot so the robot can do stuff for me. I need a robot. Let's get some robots. Robots for everyone. Heyo. I wonder if they would do like government issued robots for, each citizen. They probably would, in a totalitarian type way. I'm sure they would. Then it would be like iRobot, when they flip the switch and the robot keeps you trapped in your home because it's not safe. We're going through this transition. Please stay seated for your own personal safety. So who knows how that'll all play out. But and the AI too, of course, is a big one. So anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it here on Operation Status Quo. It's like all this stuff is going on. I'm not sure how engaged people are with it. I would suggest to open yourself to some of these things of what's going on, and to realize that our society's changing, and these technologies are going to be most likely, realistically, an integral part of whatever we do moving forward. It's a whole new world out there, ladies and gentlemen, but it's a beautiful thing, right? Because we lived the life that we had before with the old way, and now we're starting something new, and it's always fun to start something new, even when it's a little, scary, or, seems off-putting in certain ways. As humans, we always want to kind of maintain what we know and what we have, because we don't want, the change is scary sometimes. You got to make adjustments, and we like our little creature comforts, but, we'll have them again, just in a different way. So, that's what it's all about. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for your time here today on Operation Status Quo. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts on the ideas I'm discussing here today. Just drop something in the comments. Let me know what you think about the aliens, what you think about the robots, what you think about AI, because I am curious, and I want to know what you're thinking out there, because I love you guys individually as well as a group. That's what I say all the time. So please like, subscribe, share, send this out to your family, your friends, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well, because we all need a little love out there in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time so much. Thanks for being with me here today on Operation Status Quo. Until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo disengaged.